Hello everyone, this is Meltman again, hitting up some gameplay action for you. Figured we hadn't done it in a little bit, so we go ahead and do some Oxygen Not Included. Also, give me an opportunity to go ahead and chat with you wonderful folks again. Of course, as always, if you have any questions for me that you'd like addressed, this is definitely the video. You can go ahead and leave a comment down below if you're not viewing this live, or leave a comment in the chat if you are. I do want to talk a bit about a topic that's a little important to me right after I go ahead and get everything under control here. Let's see here how we are doing. Looks like we've got pretty much everything getting to the point where it's sufficient. We need a little bit more food production though, it looks like. Oh, we were uprooting this, and we were purposely putting mealworm in that spot, I believe. Okay. Now, what I wanted to talk about in this video is why I play. Why I play video games, what is it important to me, and why am I creating a channel around that, and especially why am I naming that channel Gaming Philosophy. Or Game Philosophy. The reason is this. Everyone plays games. Plays quintessentially part of the human condition. And I'm toying with the reason is, why does everybody play some form or game of another? I mean, I don't think at some point people don't seek some form of entertainment, and that's what I think gameplay is entertainment. Let's see here. I'm having a problem. Oh, temperature. Well, that was silly of me. But how far in do I need to go before the temperature is normalized? Or do I need to simply go ahead and just take the one on the end here? There we go. Deconstruct. Now we'll go ahead and do one more and deconstruct. Okay. Jobs. New artist. Okay. Back to what I was talking about. Video games, for me, when I was very young, I was sickly. I had some health problems that kept me out of school for long periods of time. My grades were suffering because of it, and because of my sickly demeanor, I was underdeveloped in my younger years, which caused me to get bullied a lot. And it was a rough part of my life. So I found escape from that harsh reality in video games. In a way, you could say the reason why I became so much of a gamer is because reality was too hard on me in that point in my life. It gave me that escape. But also, it gave me more. I found with me possibly playing more and more video games, and I don't have any empirical data to reference this, but I became much keener in a lot of ways. Some of my problem solving skills got better, and it became something that just was more a part of me. My ability to jump on a puzzle and solve it quickly, or a situation and get that resolved within a timely manner, became much quicker and quicker, especially if it was something that I had dealt with before. Now, I'm not going to say gameplay is a magic cure-all and makes you good at all the things, because it doesn't. I still have things that I struggle with. Certain social situations where I spent more time in my youth playing video games and less time, going out to prom or dating or having those social interactions, it made me a little bit of socially awkward or inexperienced, which, later in life, I felt that I got some of that experience in. And I'm still learning a lot of things today. Let's see, is there going to be... No, because of that. No, because of that. And you really don't have anything making you worth adding. So I'm going to just reject all. So I look at today's... Yeah, I may have that connection. And I enjoy video games on a daily basis because of that. But I'm not the only person that enjoys video games. You don't have to have had a rough situation to have games being a strong draw in your life. I think everyone has their own kind of aspect, what drew them to video games in the first place. But I will say this though, I don't want this to be limited to just video games. I think everyone has that special something that gives them fulfillment in their life, and feels like what that's what defines them. That's their thing. Some people are into sports, some people are into martial arts, some people are artistic and draw these lovely pictures that, for my life of me, I could never have that level of talent. But my point is, there's that defining moment in your life when you grab this and this one thing just feels right to you. And for me, that's video games. So I spend a lot of time thinking about video games and what is it about the act of playing something that gives you such fulfillment? I mean, gives you a reason. I mean, you literally could spend that time doing other things. You could go ahead and pull more hours in at work, or go ahead and eat more food, or sleep, or go ahead and hang out with friends at a club or something else. But for some people, eating good food is their entertainment. Some people are just enjoy the dreams that come with a really good night's sleep. And others enjoy hanging out with their friends, and that's the thing they do. They go out clubbing and partying, and that's their play. And I think it's just finding whatever gives you personal fulfillment is really what it all boils down to. I think that probably is going to do us for food there. As long as the temperature stays amicable. No idea why that particular one is so bloody hot. Hopefully it will cool down quickly. But it all comes down to what works best for you. And I think everybody develops their own reasons. Maybe someone was turned on to a sport at an early age and they've gotten good at it where it's just become something that is just something they do. Okay. And for me, that's video games. But I'm not going to say that's the only thing I do. I've worked a lot of jobs over the course of my life. Most of them have been customer service based. More often than not in a sales aspect or another. I could talk to you at length about everything from vacuum cleaners to different qualities of leathers to different benefits of extra programs attached to Chase credit cards. Oh, we have a leak somewhere. Oh, we do have some polluted water that's coming in. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cancel this and this. We're going to then also create a drain bin. This is how we're going to do this. Basically creating a place for the polluted water to go so it's not building up in here. Okay. Now, why do we go ahead and do these things? I mean, honestly, it's a mixture of entertainment as well as staving off boredom. And I am having serious oxygen problems. Right in here. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to deconstruct this statue. Wait, cancel that. Deconstruct this statue. And this is more of a temporary fix than anything else. Alright. So basically I'll be producing oxygen in this section here, and that will force the carbon dioxide out and down where there is a carbon dioxide scrubber here. So that will go ahead and hopefully solve the problem. This will be oxygen from my oxygen production that's going in here, and then this will be oxygen from algae. Okay, so that will go ahead and solve that problem, hopefully. I do need to go ahead and get more algae and slime. See, now that water catch is solving that problem. To better solve it, though, we'll want to go ahead and put this here. Go ahead and put this here. And this pipe will connect to that. And this pipe will connect to that. Then we need to go ahead and... there we go. Wires. Alright. Let's try this again. There we go. There we go. So, and that will allow me to pump whatever water out that is polluted. And it won't function if there's no water there, so. Okay, don't know how that water got there, but it's definitely chilling the situation. Oh boy. Well, my colony may be falling apart. Let's go ahead and put these up. And it's quite literally due to my oxygen problems. I am producing oxygen and getting it back into my system as fast as possible, but I'm really obviously not providing it where I need it the most. That is the wrong thing. Sorry if I got quiet. Just trying to go ahead and figure out how to go ahead and produce the oxygen that is so desperately needed for my facility. I understand we have starvation. Great. Alright. So, apparently we have a surplus of water going on. Now this is something I've seen, this animation. It's happening a lot. These people are actually sleeping, but this is the animation for the hydro fans. It seems like sometimes the game glitches out on the development build, which is what I'm playing on right now. And that's the case. Now, right now I'm building more hydrolyzers to produce more oxygen, because that's what I'm short on. I'm short on oxygen. And by building more hydrolyzers, that goes ahead and solves that problem for me. Let's see here. Okay. Who do we have here? No, really, no one I want to bring in, especially with how tight my resources are right now. Okay. Now, you see in a way here, the level of management and planning involved in this game, one could quickly and easily attribute to a job. This requires a certain amount of work to maintain and seek balance and try to make everything function. But I could quickly have it fall apart if I'm not managing it appropriately. So my oxygen situation, for example, is too low here. And I went ahead and did an emergency dig out of some algae in order to solve that problem. Now, at this point, it is still quite low, and I'm having to resort into another emergency dig kind of situation, where I'm digging out a section that has resources I need in hopes that it resolves my problem, and setting that to a higher priority than everything else in hopes that it basically resolves the issue that I'm experiencing. Let's see here. Let's see what we got going on. No. Once again, we'll go ahead and kick them all out. So, with all the work and maintenance this needs to maintain itself and be sufficient, who would want to go ahead and subject themselves to work for the sake of playing a game? And that's because I find the game's intellectual challenge in a way sating my mind's desire to solve problems. In a way, challenging myself makes it a more enjoyable game. If a game was too easy, then it would not provide the mental distraction to consume my time in a way that I would find enjoyable. Example, why does someone go ahead and not play tic-tac-toe with themselves day in, day out? Because they would know how it would always result. There's no challenge to that game. You would, more often than not, end things on in a draw. And there's you have it. It's too easy. With something like this, it hits that sweet spot where I honestly don't know if I'm making the right decision half the time. I think I'm doing a good job, but at the same time, I could be completely and utterly botching this whole thing up. I'm almost out of a good algae source, and soon will be required to go elsewhere. I'm producing so much water that I really don't know what to do with it at all. And I'm hoping and praying that this new income of oxygen will achieve what I need for my base. In that it will go ahead and keep my hydrogen generator pumping, and my oxygen regenerating at a rate that, oh boy. Well, we have all sorts of problems here now, don't we? Sorry, once again distracted by what is happening. In trying to maintain all of this. Now, I'd like to know, why everyone else plays video games. I'm making assumptions only from my experience. I can only talk to how I view the world. And that my playing video games was an escape from a bad situation when I was younger. It allowed me to live in a world outside myself, and that was my initial connection. But the continuous intellectual challenge of games, puzzle solving, skill challenges, that's what kept me coming back and keeps me coming back to this day. New and interesting means of play. And that's why you see indie game come out with this new revolutionary game mechanic that you don't see in mainstream games, and suddenly that game will blow up and it'll be the next Minecraft, where it's not something that has a defined you must do this to beat the game kind of traditional look, but its own unique kind of creation on how it can be approached. And there are a lot of different ways to approach video games in that fashion. I don't expect that games are going to be cookie cutter. I mean, it's highly unlikely that they can continue to be that way, because there's always new and interesting innovations that someone else comes out with. And all of our other things that go on in life often change and grow with our want and need to entertain ourselves, challenge ourselves intellectually. I mean, look at it this way. We create challenges and difficulties for ourselves as a race. You could go ahead and cite things like having two political parties that are constantly at each other's throats over topics that on the surface seem rather mundane, but when you examine them and see how people feel about them deeply, they can be quite different. And I find often that those that don't challenge ourselves intellectually or are already challenged enough just see it as a yes no answer. One party's right, one party's wrong. And whereas the intellectuals of us will sit there and go, well, yes, each one has their merits, they each have their own viewpoint, but based on the facts of the issue, neither really wrong, but neither are really right either. They're just different viewpoints on the same topic. And I think at a point that causes you to grow and change and understand that it's really not about being right or wrong. It's more about just trying to understand your fellow man and growing as an individual. And I know this is probably deeper than just some guy's obsession with video games, but in a way, all things are kind of connected to each other. And I know I'm probably waxing a little bit too philosophical, and it's maybe something that no one wants to think on a daily basis, or does think on a daily basis. I'm just a kooky guy that likes video games, and probably spends too much time thinking deeply about them. I mean, overanalyzing things is just kind of something that I do. And that's why there are certain YouTube channels that any day they have a video coming up, I'm there, I'm watching it because I want to hear their opinion on the things like what's the underlying theory behind Five Nights at Freddy's, or was Link dead all the time? And if you follow them too, you know exactly who I'm referring to. The Game Theorists, I've been a long time subscriber to them. I love their channels. In no way am I going to be able to even consider putting out content like theirs. I'm not trying to mimic them. They literally are their own thing, and I don't think I could ever hope to be as an amazing channel as they have. But I would be lacking to state that they are a strong influence and kind of a role model to what I would like my channel to be down the road. Okay, I am running out of oxygen again because I am once again out of algae. I digged out the algae that I can from the main area. The original plan was to come in here and get the algae and the slime that is existent in here. So we are going to go ahead and do that to try to save off the deoxygenizing gods here. And it looks like we're about to have another gut of water coming in. Okay. Alright. So, again, just putting this out there. I want to find out, I mean, because I want this channel to be about me, Meltman, and my experiences with games, kind of sharing those experiences with all you out there, and maybe finding some common ground, despite backgrounds, diversities, because in the end, no matter what game we play in life, what role we lead, in a way, we're all gamers. Some video gamers, some sports gamers, some stock trading gamers. What makes what you do enjoyable is what I think I would like to know. What is that entertainment value for the game that you play? So, I mean, give me an idea. Go ahead and leave a comment if you'd like, or if you have a question about my inane ramblings, feel free to drop it in. Like, dislike, I will go ahead and take whatever you will throw at me. But really, I'd like to go ahead and get to know you guys, get to know what you expect from me, and see where we're going as a channel moving forward. Let's see here. We need to create a vent here. We need to select hydrogen here. We need that there. That there. Is that reachable now? Looks like it. Priority 9. It's just priority 5. And then we're going to go ahead and simply there we go. We're going to deconstruct that. We're going to deconstruct that. That there. And there. So. Okay. I think we're going to deconstruct you. Alright. Hopefully... Well, I think I just borked that whole system. Because now if you look at it this way, we have this causing this problem. So, and half the system isn't getting fed like it should. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this gas pipe here and we're going to deconstruct it. And that should allow these to funnel where it needs to go, while allowing these to feed these major arteries. Okay. Okay, and what is that doing for our electrical grid? Our power output is now climbing instead of decreasing, it seems. We are using more water up, it seems. Right now there's a surplus of polluted water, and that is caused because of the fact that we have a lot of water in general filling up. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a drain through. See here. And this is literally just going to be a device for me to go ahead and purge the excess water that is being generated by that and pump it down into here. There we go. That should allow some of this oxygen-rich environment to flow through these gas permeable tiles into this area and push this way. We have some oxygen being created here and here. We have a sizable amount of oxygen being produced here. Now right now my electrical grid is getting strained. Okay. Now, I want to go ahead and continue these videos, and I want to go ahead and talk about whatever is on my mind, kind of get your guys' opinions, but at the same time, I think this is really better if I have you guys talking back to me, and it may just be the simple thing that I'm not holding to any specific schedule on gameplay. I have one game that I'm going to try to hold to a specific schedule to see how it works out for me, but normally I just do things as they become available and as I have the time freed up out of my schedule to do them. And I'm a little sporadic, and that makes it hard to catch my live streams, but I'm hoping that eventually I can get enough response from you all that these conversations are more about me saying something and then you coming back and telling me, well, you look at it from this perspective and how you think it's different from your perspective, and ways I could look at a situation differently, or, you know, just have that conversation, that back and forth. That's kind of what I'm looking for here. We'll see how it plays out, see what kind of comments and back and forth we get. It may just be that I'm expecting too much, being that I've just started my career in YouTube just a few weeks back, or maybe a week and a half at most back, and I'm kind of wanting to see the channel grow and become a place where people can go ahead and talk about different philosophical viewpoints and what they see happening in the world and how they like to see things done differently or change. There we go. Yeah, that overflow valve is working great that I put in there. This can fill up with water just fine, and if I need to, I can go ahead and build another piping system in there. In fact, let's go ahead and extend that down there. Okay. So, now, things were touch and go there, that we were having a hard time producing enough oxygen. We may still have struggles with that because I don't know if this production is going to be enough. I think I'm definitely going to have to go ahead and build another oxygen input. Let's see here. It's hard to say how to plan this out. Because right now these are too toasty to produce. And it's saying because the temperature's too hot here, and that makes sense. I think this is poor placement on my part. Because we have a generator here that's basically producing heat. Maybe we need to make this one floor up or something. It's tough. I think I'm gonna do is this. Then we're gonna go with this. Yeah. Anyways, we're approaching an hour of playtime here. I think I'm going to go ahead and take this moment to go ahead and call it. Just chill and relax and get some rest. And then I'll be back with you later with another fresh gameplay. And we'll see where we go from there. So again, thank you for joining me, Meltman, and listening to my wonderful ramblings. Have a lovely evening.